Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Jack, and I am playing Mardu, Staff of the Storyteller. Staff of the Storyteller should need no introduction at this point. It's a relatively new card to the Legacy format, but we're seeing it in all sorts of shells or all sorts of places doing all kinds of work. 1 and a white artifact makes a 1/1 white spirit when it comes into play. Whenever you make one or more tokens, put a charge counter on it, a story counter. And white tap, remove a story counter, draw a card. It's a draw engine as long as you keep making tokens, which the Legacy format is pretty good at doing if you're interested in doing so. The tokens in this deck include rogues, and Staff does say creature token. I need to specify that because this deck does make treasures which don't charge the staff. Currency Converter makes rogues, also makes treasures, but like I said, those don't charge the staff. Lingering Souls make spirits. Staff itself makes spirits, of course. The second staff charges the first, and then you get cascading value. Monastery Mentor makes monks. Fable of the Mirror Breaker makes a goblin shaman, and then if you ever get to flip it, it can make more tokens that are other stuff too. With the backside, the reflection of Kiki Jiki. Aya's Guile, one of the many modes on this card, is make a 1/1 white and black spirit. Duretti makes 1/1 colorless constructs with Defender. Wandering Emperor makes Samurais. Timeless Dragon makes a dragon token. And Batterskull and Cauldra, aided by Stoneforge Mystic, make germ tokens. There's a lot of tokens in this deck. It's a lot of 2-for-1s, a lot of card selection, a lot of card advantage. And it's not a blue deck, as we've noticed. This is a Mardu strategy, and Mardu does not contain blue, much to my chagrin. But I am here doing this. That means we get to play discard 4 Thoughtseize, 3 Cabal Therapy. Cabal Therapy, pretty dope, because we should have a lot of largely irrelevant individual bodies sitting around to flash this back with. We get the best removal in the format in Swords of Plowshares and Prismatic Ending. Then we got a couple Edict effects for things that are hard to target. Kaya's Guile and Sheoldred's Edict are both Edict effects. Wandering Emperor's got removal, Duretti's got removal. We get to be a Wasteland deck. And we have access to Karakas as a white deck as well. There's a responsible amount of disruption in here. I feel like we're in a good spot versus most fair decks, because I would rather be a discard deck than a counterspell deck in fair mirrors, for the most part. Against combo, we're going to be holding on for dear life, trying to punch a hole in their engine and then get them dead before they can close that hole. And luckily we do have 2 different gears here. Stoneforge Mystic and Monastery Mentor can both end a game very quickly, whereas Wandering Emperor and Lingering Souls and Staff of the Storyteller squeeze a game out very slowly. And without Brainstorm and Ponder to find the correct pieces, we gotta kind of hope those line up, but that comes with playing non-blue. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is our big piece of card selection. This card is a 4 of. This is going to be very important throughout the entire league. And the sideboard is just a bunch of extremely targeted hate. Leyline of the Void, Plague Engineer, Meltdown, Blood Moon, Pyroblast, very macabre. Wham bam. Everything here has its crosshairs directly on a specific type of opponent, which is what you need out of a sideboard here. And that's this deck. Jack did kick off the brewing of this deck with a 5-0. This has been posted a little while ago. He said he's been running into a little less success since then, a solid 3-2 across 50 matches. This averages 3-2. We'll see if we can push that a little farther and do some work with Mardu, Staff of the Storyteller. Let's do it. I'm on the draw in round 1, and without knowing the matchup, this hand looks pretty bad. If they are exactly a creature deck that's susceptible to Wasteland, I could buy some time, but if they're anything else, I might just die. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, here we go. Rewarded immediately with all sorts of disruption and engines. I'm going to keep this and bottom Lingering Souls. I think I'd rather have the double staff up front, or at least have the option to slam into Stoneforge Mystic. Underground Sea, Ponder. Well, glad I didn't keep a hand that beats up creatures, because this is probably a combo deck. It could be Death Shadow. That's the only other identifiable thing it could be. Could always be something weird. This is Legacy. I don't really want this Thoughtseize to get dazed, but I also can't do anything about it right now. Taking a turn off seems awful. I would like to get my threats or my engines online next turn. Oh wow, they are a fair deck. Oh no, they have 2 Wastelands in their hand. We've already lost. Shit, this is so much worse than if they were Doomsday. Oh wow. We're in trouble, team. Okay. I guess I'm gonna take Leovold. Wow, that's bad. Witherbloom Command kills Staff of the Storyteller. Not that it's ever going to be in play if I can't have any mana. Alright. Yikes. Okay, taking Leo. Life is pain right now. I do have a bunch of basics in the deck, but I am going to need to draw ways to fetch into them. Blood Moon is in the sideboard. We can support this, but yeah, getting there is going to be tough. Fetch land off the top right now at least lets me play the game, or basic land. Oh my god. Do I even play this out? I guess so. I gotta draw out the Wasteland somehow. The alternative is don't play a land at all, and then hope that I draw a basic or fetch next turn, which gives me a 2-drop on turn 4. Yuck. But not playing the land is the same as getting the land wasted. I'm gonna float red. I don't have anything to do with red, but they're going to pass anyway, and I want them thinking about red cards when my hand's full of white cards. Okay, deck. Lands, please. Oh my god. We're so dead. Maybe should have kept that first hand with 4 lands in it. And now they brainstorm, which is something my deck doesn't know how to do, and they need to find a threat. So, not dead yet. I'm getting griefed. Oh, they're scamming me. Yeah, this is not worth hiding information over. Go ahead, have a peek. And they pitched the Witherbloom Command to do that. Good, I was worried about the next Wasteland showing up. Took my plow. Oh, this is a Max Extortion deck. I think I recognize this now. Max top 16 the challenge this past weekend with Bug Scam. God, Leovold. That's so much worse than reanimating the grief. I guess I will keep playing this game, because I'm not dead yet. I'm not in good shape, but luckily Leovold is less bad than it could otherwise be if I was a deck with Art Draw in it. But if I just run our lands here and get Call Draw happening, I could still win this game. We'll see. Did not shuffle off Ponder. I have to imagine they're sitting on Force Blue card over there, just in case. Okay. Let's get started. I mean, Force Blue card will not stop this onslaught of Stoneforges. Another Wasteland is what I don't want to happen. Alright, deck, let's do it. Land, right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Send it. And I could get my basic swamp here, or I could lock in white and get Scrubland. I think I just need a Scrubland here. Alright, let's see if A, they kept Force Blue card, and B, if that's what they're doing about it. And the answer is yes to both. Force pitching Force. I'm going to go to 7, then I get to shove another Stoneforge. Brainstorm in the end step. Don't really care about discard. I do care about reanimate. Reanimating grief, adding to the clock while disrupting me, is a problem. Did not shuffle, and they could have. I don't like that. And hard cast a grief here. Yuck. What's happening? Burrow. Okay, I mean, that sucks, but it doesn't kill me, which is what I'm imminently concerned about right now. To present another Stoneforge Mystic this turn. Oh no, they reanimated the grief. That's what I said not to do. Do you even like me at all? This is not how friends treat each other. Okay, I think with Uro in the mix here, the ship has sailed. There might have been a world where Batterskull stabilizes this, but that's not even true because they put me to 1 with their attacks next turn. Then I put in Batterskull and they have a menace creature. I could draw an extra card on their turn. I get 1 draw per turn. Do I think that is somehow better? Because I'm facing down Uro, Leovold, and Grief. Is there any universe where that's better than getting Batterskull? I think I just have to get Batterskull and hope I draw a removal spell for the creature I can't block. So if I draw a land, I can block 2 creatures next turn, but Uro might be too big for me to even do that. Yeah, I mean, if this came together 1 turn sooner than it did, I would not feel too bad here, which is pretty interesting considering how abysmal this game looked from the moment I thought seized my opponent on turn 1. So they're attacking me to 1. I could chump block Leovold. Don't think that matters. I think Batterskull being involved in the game will be more important than that. Prismatic Ending, not helpful. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I was 1 turn shy of stability there. Or if Uro's not involved, does that matter? No, that's the same clock. I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay. Bug Scam is a graveyard deck. And I can't imagine they're strong against Blood Moon. And they have a lot of black and green cards that are powerful. I don't know how important their blue cards are to their overall strategy. I don't think I want Jute. I think I can live without Duretti. Mentor seems dope. Cabal Therapy seems dope. Currency Converter is great against decks that are trying to make you discard naturally. I like the Plow. I like the Edicts. Fable sucks against Leovold. I'm not sure how many actual Leovolds are in this deck. I should probably just stop speculating and pull it up like a responsible gamer. Okay, I'm on Maxtortion's Twitter here. And Baleful Strix, 3 Uros, 1 Leovold, and then the Force cantrip package are my Pyroblast targets. I think my white removal combined with my graveyard hate do what need to be done here. Okay. Use your digital resources. We just released an episode of Eternal Glory telling people to use their digital resources, and then I almost didn't bother looking at the list. Shame on me. I think Lingering Souls actually kind of sucks here. That's just really slow for what I need out of this matchup. It is a card I don't care if I discard. I'm going to shave Cabal Therapies. I'm actually bringing a Souls back in and cutting another Therapy. This game is going to be played largely on the board, not in the hands or on the stack. Okay, well, this hand is good against Wasteland. It sucks against Brief Scam. There's no hate in it. There is a quick Stoneforge Mystic and Mentor to back it up. I hate to make a bad decision based on results-oriented thinking, because this hand would have been... Well, no, this hand would have sucked last game too, because of the Grief Scam aspect. I'm going to mulligan this. Once again rewarded with a solid hand. I'm going to keep this and put... I think Fable to the bottom. I think disrupting them with Thoughtseize and then being aggressive with Stoneforge Mystic is my route to victory here. Thoughtseize you. Grief Reanimate to rock. I probably just want to take Reanimate, because that way, if they Grief Scam me, it's going to cost 2 cards. If I take Grief, they just Reanimate it. Yeah, I'm going to take the Reanimate. And they can spend 2 cards taking one of my Stoneforges if they want. Tropical Island, Ponder. Okay, I'm glad they griefed me now, because if they wait for me to Stoneforge and then grief my equipment, that's actually pretty annoying. Stoneforge Mystic, get in. We've seen Pernicious Deed over there, but Caldra's indestructible. Just going straight for the hoop here. Another Ponder. They find a Reanimate, that's pretty good. But they would need a Black Source too. They're halfway there, and they are fetching. Black Source, Reanimate, cool. And the other card in my hand is no slouch either. But yeah, Cauldron is just G. Leyline of the Void showing up right on time. And Staff. That's in. This can double block Grief. They can invest in Pernicious Deed this turn and clear me next turn. And Deed's a good card. There's that one. Drawing Blood Moon. I believe Deed kills enchantments, right? Sure does. Disappointing. Okay. I can cycle Timeless Dragon. I would like to get a Black Source, but I would also like to play under Blood Moon. I'll get basic planes, and I'm just going to pass here. I want to make them deed pre-combat. If I attack with Spirit, then they can hold back deed, but if they want to be pushing for damage, they're going to have to deed first. Color Ponder. Timeless Dragon, the token is a copy of Timeless Dragon, which means that its mana value is still 5 for deed. It's not 0. That is something I can use to my advantage. Looted Delta has been played. No attack. I hate this discipline. Okay, well, if that's what we're doing, I'll just eternalize my pal. Stifle is in this deck, but that didn't happen. This should work if I understand anything. Why don't I understand anything? Why didn't that work? Exile this from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie dragon. Oh, with no mana cost. It does specifically say that in the reminder text. Okay, I walked into that one. Basically, I just missed a damage there, and the game goes on. I would have attacked with Spirit otherwise. But the deed's gone. This clears the way for Moon, which is how I'm actually going to win this game if I win this game. Wasteland, not a huge deal. Oh, they're just holding up Hardcast Force. Stop doing stuff. Ridiculous. Okay. Do you have Stifle? If you Stifle, you put down Force. I don't really care if this Leyline gets countered. I'm going to start just putting things that are scary onto the stack. Yeah, it's important to read cards in their entirety. Timeless Dragon specifically says, with no mana cost. Got it. I would like to kill this Grief somehow. This Fable's pretty cool, though, because this could be good enough to draw out a counter, and I can go land Blood Moon afterwards. And then I just have to draw an answer to Grief before I lose. Okay, it's in there. I get 4 more draw steps this game. No, 3 more. Go to 7, draw 4, draw 1, draw. Yeah, I get 3 more draw steps this game. That's not a helpful one. I do have looting effects in my deck. Come on, Swords of Plowshares. Batterskull. Stoneforge Mystic. Jeez, give me a break. All right. We're running out of gas here. I'm at 1. And Swords of Plowshares? Nope. Okay. Messing up on the rules of Timeless Dragon. I wonder if I could have maneuvered this board state to a spot where they pop deed. And if I just don't Dragon that turn and do something else instead, maybe they pop deed to start pushing damage and then Dragons in my graveyard for the post-Blood Moon world. And I'm still losing the Race to Grief, so that's not a complete solution to my problem, but certainly that was not great. But the hooks are in here. Did everything I was supposed to do except kill this Grief. And I used my first Thoughtseize of the game to effectively kill the Grief because I took Reanimate, which would have made the Grief stick, and then they just found another Reanimate later. So I did everything I was supposed to do that game. It just was not good enough. On to the next one.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the play for round number 2. My hand has lands and spells in it. I will keep it. It's going to play my safest land and pass the turn. Another Underground Sea strategy. Have I not made it clear? I can't beat those. Did not shuffle. Okay, cool. I might have a chance. Deciding if I want to run out Caracas. I would like to play around Days. I'm just deciding if I want to put Caracas into play or hide that for later. I think I want to hide it. And Wasteland's going to get me this game if Wasteland is being played, so I'm going to lean in and just get good mana. Okay, we are Doomsday. I guess Brainstorm is the take from this hand, though all of it sucks. They kept their Ponder last turn, unless they kept it on the strength of this Brainstorm, and then let Thoughtseize resolve, because that would result in losing Brainstorm anyway. But anyway, yeah, Brainstorm is the take here, and I just hope that they're not floating a Doomsday on top of their deck. Flooded Strand. Okay, I didn't know about that one. We are in the wild right now. Options include... There are no options here. It's literally just cast Stoneforge Mystic and get it done. And the other option is Monastery Mentor, but I'm not a cantrip deck, so the spell velocity isn't really here in the way it would be in a blue deck. Like, I can play Mentor, play Fable the Mirror Breaker, get one prowess trigger and attack next turn. It would take a long time for that to add up to a Cauldra. Bot seizing me, bummer. See you later, Cauldra. Okay, we're back on the Mentor strat. But the good news is, Thoughtseize is not Doomsday, and Doomsday is the card I was worried about. Ooh, shit. I am going to take a turn off to invest in Mentor here, and hope that I don't die. Because we know that they could cast Doomsday and immediately deliver the pain if they had Doomsday, so it's not like Thoughtseizing is a high priority here. The priority is dealing damage to my opponent. Which... is Fable better at that? What? I mean, Mentor will deal more damage, but what am I looking for if I Fable instead? Getting the mana advantage is cool. Alright, I'm actually going Fable instead. Because I play Cabal Therapy in my deck. If I find one of those and strip the 2 Dark Rituals, then Thoughtseize is actually an effective tool again. Found Stoneforge Mystic. I would like to loot away the Prismatic Ending and the Shouldered's Edict. 2 Lingering Souls. Not what I was looking for. I'm a mana short of Stoneforge and immediately putting another thing in. Just going to attack for 3 and then Mentor plus Thoughtseize. Or Thoughtseize plus Mentor. Thoughtseize, because they can go Dark Ritual, blue, and Hardcast Force right now. Maybe I Thoughtseize first, even if it loses me a Prowess trigger. Thoughtseize you. It's the Force. Wraith and Edge are redraws. LED they can put into the Doomsday pile if I take it, so that doesn't matter. If I take Street Wraith or Edge of Autumn, that's a redraw their hand doesn't have. And Wraith is the less effective one. If they go Dark Ritual, Force of Will on a Monastery Mentor right now, or Stoneforge Mystic, who do I even go with? Thanks. I think I actually want to take the Street Wraith, because then if they Dark Ritual Force, that's 2 cards out of their hand, and their life total is starting to diminish. Okay. Stoneforge can get Jite here, or Batterskull, neither of which are hyper effective on this board state. Mentor is kind of a big threat. That might draw out the Force of Will. Okay, they are doing it. If I had him to Turok right now, I would cast it, so that's how I'm thinking about this. That might be flawed thinking, but it's what I've got. I basically just need them not to draw the card Doomsday before I kill them. They quickly pass the turn. And now it's back to me to bring the ruckus here. How is the most damage dealt? And they're on a 2-turn clock, and I cannot make it a 1-turn clock. So I think I'm going to do the thing that draws a card and might find me another Thoughtseize right now. I'm just going to draw right now in my main phase, try to spike a discard spell. It didn't get there. Brainstorm, bummer. Oh no, they found it. And we are dead on the spot because they have LED Edge. They can get the whole party going. Disappointing. Yeah, we just needed them to not find the card that their deck is named after for 2 additional turns. I'll get a look at this deck while they resolve all their stuff. Oracle exiled, so they played 2 of those. Cavern in exile, they're not worried about counterspells. Personal Tutor as a 1-of, Duress as a 1-of. They just Edged of Autumned and Brainstormed without Lion's Eye Diamonding. They do have to respect Swords to Plowshares and get their deck all the way empty. There's the diamond. Okay, they are floating all the way in here, and Consider gets them all the way empty. Yep, that works. We made a run at it. We did some cool stuff. Their hand was largely Thoughtseize resistant, though. Did a lot to disrupt them, but it just wasn't enough. I think Pyroblast and Blood Moon are cards that I want here. Doomsday can beat Blood Moon, but it also messes them up. Swords to Plowshares. They'll probably have Shouldereds. Prismatic Ending can go out. Umezawa's Jute, I'm not super interested in. And Shouldered's Edict versus Aya's Guile. Exile all graveyards. That's not helpful. Yeah, Shouldered's Edict can kill Shouldered appropriately. Duretti should just stay Jute. Okay, sure. Yeah, this looks as good as it's going to get. A Thoughtseize with no black mana to cast it, 2 Swords to Plowshares in a matchup where it sucks. I'm going to mulligan this. I will keep this one. It's not thrilling, but Wasteland could cheese me some time to operate. If they just Dark Ritual Doomsday, then whatever. My deck cannot defend that. Watery Grave. Personal Tutor. It is my suspicion that a player who had a land other than Watery Grave to play would not play Watery Grave. There is a Doomsday on top of the deck. I'm gonna hit the Wasteland here and see what the follow-up is. Did have another land. Just sitting that Doomsday in their hand. Very strange. Thought for sure we'd be getting Dark Ritualed out of here. Oh, they had a lot of lands. Did they get me on the hook on purpose with that Watery Grave? Did Wastelanding them somehow benefit them? Were they worried about Wasteland Surgical on Underground Sea? I don't know. Okay, here's Dark Ritual. Cast Doomsday, and we're going to die without doing anything this game. This matchup seems bad. I'm trying to imagine how Mardu even fixes this matchup. You don't get anything good. You could shove a bunch of Torpor Orbs in your sideboard, I guess. But normally red decks are doing something like Trinisphere, Chalice of the Void to slow down what's going on here. That's how red tends to defend against this. White defends against this with Thalias and stuff, or Hushbringer, like Torpor Orb Hushbringer effects are how we could have a chance here. There's nothing like Dress Down. Well, there's the things like Dress Down that I mentioned already, but you don't get actual Dress Down. You don't get anything like Endurance. I brought in all my Pyroblast and my Blood Moon to try to cheese. I guess I could still draw Blood Moon right now, and if they don't brainstorm into a win, then that could convert. The only thing they really have to think about right now is Pyroblast, because they haven't cast a blue spell since this Personal Tutor. They exiled their Shelldock Isle. They're not interested in that. They've seen Wasteland, and they just have the brainstorm to get it going. I would have Pyroblasted this if I could have done anything, so they can move forward with high confidence. LED, Street Wraith. Oh, they're passing the turn. What's going on? Was that a misclick, or more likely they're just making sure they don't get cheesed by something that I haven't thought about yet? Okay, I gotta draw Blood Moon, or maybe there's a world where Pyroblast still works. Thoughtseize. Oh, I mean, that card has some text on it. Thoughtseize you? Any chance you misstepped your pile here? I'll take the Consider. Okay, here we are. Another turn of development, and I am just fetching wildly at this point, getting cards out of the way that I know won't be helpful. How about that Blood Moon? Fable. They could force blue card this if there was a blue card on top. I am still representing Pyroblast if that's what they were playing around. Sucks is they could just cast Oracle here and win. They don't even need anything. Oh, and they did have something, so it didn't matter. Yeah, so now they can just Oracle with Force Backup. And I'll fetch in response, then concede. Just wanted to give them a chance to concede to my red mana. Okay, that was an absolute kicking. I felt like I could not do anything in that game. We drew, what, 3-4 Thoughtseizes in our 2 games, and they just didn't matter? That was tough. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the draw for round 3, and I'm going to keep this. It is the opposite of all the other hands we've had. We've seen a bunch of can impact the board, can't impact the hand or stack situations, and I'm going to go for the opposite here. I hate that my opponent left up black mana and passed the turn. If they just Dark Ritual Oppo right now, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, we got away with it. I have basic planes, so I guess I want Badlands. That gets all my colors where they need to be. At least until they reveal Wasteland in their hand. Another Underground Sea strategy. Spell Pierce, okay. Underground Sea and Spell Pierce in a deck. Interesting. I do love Spell Pierce in Legacy right now. I'm just not sure exactly what this Spell Pierce deck is. 2 Underground Seas available. I'm going to Wasteland one of them. This can take them off hard cast days if they want to daze a Thoughtseize. Or if they're going to brainstorm with this mana this turn, then I get to see what's going on. Passing into second main, and what do you got over there? Okay, yeah. They could still daze, but it's at them back a land, which is fine because my plan next turn is to wasteland them. A Spell Pierce Daze deck with 2 Underground Seas in it. Ooh. Lingering Soul's pretty cool. Ball Therapy. Do I just name Death Shadow in the blind here? Or I don't think this would be ninjas. Oh, Marsh Flats is interesting. Is Cephalid Breakfast playing Spell Pierce now? Maybe I just name Brainstorm? But they might have cast that last turn if they had it. Wish I could name the Underground Sea I know is in the hand from the days. I think I'm going to name Death Shadow if this resolves. Oh god, it resolved. Now I'm not sure. Wait, I have Death Shadow covered, so I shouldn't name a creature. Maybe I should name Brainstorm. Yeah, I'm going back to Brainstorm here. We got one. Opposition Agent Plow. I was right about Oppo off that Marsh Flats. Just didn't have the ritual to go with it. This True Name Nemesis is a problem. I'm going to have to answer that before it's in play. Oh no, did you find a Stoneforge Mystic? What's going on here? Dark Confidant. Okay, that's dead. Swords to Plowshares that immediately. I have perfect information. We know this is going to work. And my options here are play Lingering Souls, which could give them a turn to find a 3rd mana. Oh, I'm holding Timeless Dragon. What am I worried about here? They can't linger next turn if we do it like this. What I'm thinking about is, do I Lingering Souls and flashback taking the True Name, or do I just wasteland them so they're not playing the game at all? I think I want to get Lingering Souls going. They get to flashback Therapy now, take the True Name, and then next turn I can wasteland and flashback Souls, and now I'm actually pressuring. True Name Nemesis, please leave the hand. Hitting on the front half of Cabal Therapy feels so good every time it happens. Okay. They can draw a land and cast the spell in their hand, or they can not draw a land and get wastelanded up out of here. Ooh, I like that Fable. Not enough to do anything about it, though. Wasteland the white, because the white is what casts Plow. I'm going to put them on Plow or Never. And they did Plow, so the Wasteland was kind of like a duress there. And if I Plane Cycle, I risk them having drawn exactly Dark Ritual, which would kill me. Alright, I'm going to flashback the Souls. Stick to the plan. Half of the Storyteller, okay. I can continue playing this game without giving them an opportunity to oppo me. This is the sort of game where I was talking about in the deck tech, where fair decks, where if we get into these grindy situations, I feel like this deck is well situated. That's using me. Have a good look. All good cards. Definitely taking Fable, though. Oh, it took Prismatic Ending. Are you an Aether Vial deck? What's going on? Why is that the take all of a sudden? Right now, while they're tapped out, I'm going to Plane Cycle the Timeless Dragon for a Scrub land. That can draw a card with staff and sets me up for next turn. They've shown me they have discard in their deck, so I'm not going to draw a card in my main phase. They could mess with it. Brainstorm, sure. And scooped to a presumed brainstorm block. Cool. That was fun. Interactive Magic. Bruname Nemesis sucks ass. Plague Engineer covers that. There are also 2 Edicts in my deck. Ball Therapy's kind of mid here. The plows seem really important. Ready once again does not seem great. I wonder if this should be just like any other card. Even a second mentor or just something else. And that's 2 out, 2 in. Pyroblast, we did see Bruname Nemesis, but that only gets it on the stack. Saw some soft permission, but I think I'd rather just punch through that. I'm going like this. His hand looks pretty good. I'm in. There might be an argument for Blood Moon, but if they know that my non-basic land hate is coming after losing game 1 to Wasteland, maybe they fetch around it. If they are a Vile deck, they can just ignore it with Vile. They have Mull to 4, though. Scrub land. Sure. I'm just going to attack this scrub land. On the Mull to 4, we smash. Another land. Disappointing. I was hoping for a turn 1 win. I'm going to play Arid Mesa and pass here. If they fetch, I'll fetch in response. Don't want to get oppoed. I would be kind of surprised if they are a Dark Ritual deck at all, much less if they have one right now. Now I'm not fetching because they have another source up. Dark Confidant. Okay, I can answer that with Prismatic Ending. And I think I am just going to fetch 2 basics here. Thoughtseize. Don't have room for that right now. I can test their answers to ending right now. Unfortunately, Daze does get me here. Well, we're through. And then next turn I can Thoughtseize plus Stoneforge. I can even beat a True Name Nemesis with Kaya's Guile. Opposition Agent. Right in the main phase. You got it. Oh, that was a great draw. Thoughtseize you. What's your last card? Whatever it is. Put it in the graveyard. Plague Engineer. And a card that does not care about Opposition Agent. If I didn't draw Staff here, I might have spent the turn Kaya's Guiling rather than Thoughtseizing. But we're in there. Hellbent opponent. Got him covered. On board. Not going to block here. That doesn't matter. Wish I could play around Daze a little better than I am currently. And I only have 1 white source, so I can't draw a card, and then if it doesn't work, if I don't find the land, I think I just want to go for Fable. This is a powerful thing on the board that defeats Opposition Agent in combat. Lets me attack for 1. Ooh, Plow. That was a good draw for that. They're still falling behind pretty quickly here. I don't really want to use Kaya's Guile on something that isn't True Name Nemesis, if it can be avoided. Okay, there's Shoulder's Edict. Now we're cooking. I'm going to discard at least one of these Stoneforges. That's a lot of that card. I'll just go 1. And Shoulder's Edict. Opponent sacrifice a non-token creature, or I need to use... Oh, I can draw a card still. Okay. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Oppo Agent, not a token last I checked. I will draw a card now. I could still hit a land drop, but I won't. Okay, they didn't have a second Oppo in the end step. Our Confidant. Swords to Plowshares. Okay. A cycle Timeless Dragon right now when they can't do anything about that. Gonna scrub land, cast Swords to Plowshares on Bob. And I can still draw with Staff. And we're just setting up for this onslaught of Stoneforge Mystices. I've seen discard in their deck, but they're also in the colors and spread that could reasonably be playing Hull Breacher, so I'm just going to take my draw now in response to their Unstep Plow. Voidwalker, okay. Don't care about that one. Well, I've managed to draw all of my weapons, or most of my weapons. What do I do with this? I probably just want to play Stoneforge and then cast Umezawa's Jute. Or I could play a second Stoneforge. It's going to fail to find, but it does insulate or let me shove 2 weapons into play next turn. I'll play the Jute. I am kind of in trouble now if they draw a discard spell. No, that's not even true, because then they have to sacrifice Voidwalker to cast my Cauldra, and then I can Guile the Cauldra, and we're just right back where we started. All right, well, theory's about to be tested. Have a look. What would you like out of my hand? They would like to concede because they see the writing on the wall. Fair enough. Yeah, that was a tough mull to 4, ripped apart by Thoughtseize and removal, in a matchup that's probably good for me anyway. On the board, let's go. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structure tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. I'm on the play versus a Yorion deck, and I have turn 1 currency converter, which gives me some card selection insulation compared to other hands that have looked like this that I've mulliganed before. Let's try it. Ancient Tomb, powerful card. Chalice of the Void. I have that covered. I think I just Wasteland here. Yeah, especially drawing all these lands. If I can knock them down under the Chalice or slow down whatever initiative creature they're building towards. I don't know what this Yorion Ancient Tomb Chalice of the Void deck is. Undra. Okay. All Therapy. Do I just Wasteland again? Seems reasonable. Doing it. Seat of the Synod. Jeez. Okay. Something is happening over here. It's this. It seems like an Urza deck. That's what this feels like to me. Some kind of Yorion Urza affinity thing. Thoughtseize. Okay, I'm now incentivized to start removing these Chalice of the Voids. So I will. Exile one of these. And next turn, I hope I can Thoughtseize plus Therapy them and get some traction if they don't have a third Chalice. Tavern on what? Human. Feathersworn Canonist. Okay, guess I'm not casting 2 spells then. Staff of the Storyteller. That's an artifact. I am casting 2 spells. Can't stop me. Karn, Thought Monitor, Trinket Mage, Lotus Petal. A Lotus Petal. It's going with the Chalice on 0. Beautiful thing. I'm taking Karn. And I'm going to fetch Badlands and play Staff of the Storyteller. And I get to put a story on that. And off we go. I guess maybe I'm supposed to play Trinket Mage in case I draw a land. That gets the thing going. Yeah, now the thing is going, the engine. Because I could always Cabal Therapy, Karn next turn. But we've seen Ancient Tomb, so who knows. Drawing for Ancient Den. That's allowed. I will not be blocking this Canonist. Stoneforge Mystic. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. I could take Thought Monitor and spend a turn converting some currency. I could draw a card. Yeah, I'm going to draw a card first. I don't have to make this decision yet. This is free. Another staff. Okay, that makes my turn pretty easy. I'm going to fetch my basic swamp, play another staff, charge both staffs, and then therapy their Thought Monitor. Thought Monitor, get out. End of Ancient Tomb and an uncastable Lotus Petal. And this feels like it could break open at any time. Like, I'm not trying to talk smack and lose. They would need to string together some good stuff, though. Please don't cast Urza right now. Alright, just put Yorion in hand, that's fine. I am pretty happy to trade off with Feathersworn Canonist. Or, hold up, that seems like a trap. If they get to Yorion next turn, I would prefer that they don't Flicker Trinket Mage. And I'm down to single spelling anyway. Yeah, let's do it like this. I can afford to draw some cards. Monastery Mentor is cool. And Stoneforge Mystic, get in there. Find the Cauldra. This currency converter has been sort of rotting, but I'm not mad that it exists. Another Tundra. I am now glad that I traded with Trinket Mage last turn. Oh, Kappa. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna draw a card in response. Okay, that answers Kappa. Not pretty, but it works. And this does get to push. Okay, Kappa is when an artifact enters the battlefield, not when you cast it. So their Chalice will counter their Petal. They would need to draw an artifact to get unblockable for the turn. I can play another Stoneforge, tutor another weapon. Still Swords to Plowshares? Or how does this work? I could plow the Canonist. I'm going to Stoneforge. I don't have to care about Kappa right away, is the thing. I'm going to get Batterskull. And then is going to pass the turn. If they try to get in with a blockable Kappa, I can eat it. They would have to draw an artifact that doesn't cost 0, which they did not do. Here they can play Yorion and flicker Chalice to put a counter on Kappa. Oh, they flicker the Chalice out, which gives them Lotus Petal. Sure, that makes sense. And they attack for 6 here. Okay. Wiggled through that. Batterskull's going to start gaining this life back. In the end step, put in Batterskull. They get their Chalice of the Void back and their Canonist, both of which will make Kappa bigger. I get to draw some cards with Staff here. And I have plenty to plow this Kappa with. It's now an 8/8. Fable's pretty dope. I cannot afford to Fable this turn. If I don't attack, then Yorion kills me. So I have to attack with Batterskull even if it dies. Get in with this. Yorion will just block it here. That's fine. Now I have a choice, which is plow now or see if they draw an artifact. Let's see if they draw an artifact. Because if they draw an artifact, then they don't draw a counterspell. And if they draw a counterspell, then they don't draw an artifact. Don't have to fight over this Kappa. Okay, they did draw an artifact. So I will light this thing up. And I have white still available that can draw a card with Staff of the Storyteller. I'm going to take 4 in the air. Okay, they're in the trading off with Stoneforge Mystic business. I accept that trade all day. Draw a card here. If I find a land, which I did, I can put in Cauldra and equip it with Batterskull. That's down to 3. And we're cooking. Okay, yep. They see what's going on here. Not going to be able to race this. Sweet tech. Going to bring in all my meltdowns. Blood Moon seems effective against them as well. It doesn't turn off the artifacts, but we didn't see a single basic land. This currency converter was not good. It was in play the entire game, and it threatened to do stuff, but never actually did stuff. I'm probably off it. Oh, Pyroblast seems good too. This is a lot of sideboard. Where am I going to find room for all this? You're ready, obviously. I think I can chill on Umezawa's Jitte. The edicts are good against Kappa if they have to put one down unprotected. I don't think I like Cabal Therapy. It's just really awkward trying to maneuver through Chalice of the Void and Ethersworn Canonist and whatever else they're bringing in to double spell in a turn, especially if you have to sack a creature to cast the spell. Going to rely on sideboard cards now. Yeah, the currency converter also gets swept up pretty often in a meltdown. That's mediocre. Got one of the lingering souls, and gotta cut one more card here, or I could just not play 2 Blood Moons, but I think that's gonna be good. Maybe I'll play 1 on the draw, and if we get a game on the play, I'll bring in the other one. That's why you only play 1, because it's gonna be in your opening hand. What's the problem? I will keep this hand. I can Thoughtseize off basic swamp, cycle for basic plains. I guess those 2 lands don't cast Blood Moon though with a wasteland. So I'll need a red source at some point. Some kind of plan will come together here, I promise. Opal, Tundra, Battle, Shadow Spear. We have Emery. What's going on here? What's the final flourish? Just a big dump out. And I think I have to fetch Badlands here, though. I have this Wasteland in my hand. Do I even care about Blood Moon? I think I'm going to get the basic swamp. See what's left in this 2-card hand. Seasoned Dungeoneer. Okay, yeah, I would have kept that hand too. Not bad with Cavern of Souls to back it up. Turn 2 uncounterable. It's easy, Dungeon easy. There's Cavern. Oh no, you did not. Stop it. Stop it now. Okay. I mean, that's still a good draw, but at least it's not Seasoned Engineer. I'd love to draw just a land that I don't have to... Okay, cool. I did draw a land that I don't have to look for. I'm actually going to fetch Plateau with this one. And I'm going to exile Mox Opal. I'm trying to get the hooks in on Blood Moon. And I see this Thought Monitor here that's about to become 3/3 lifelink if they want it to. But I have access to basic planes via Timeless Dragon. Your deck's full of terrifying 4-drops. Just put Yorion in hand that I hope will be uncastable by the time we get there. Okay, basic planes in the mix. Cool. I'll just run that out first then. I'll have the moon hit their eye like a big pizza pie. Oh, Force of Will pitching Yorion. Okay. Honestly, not even mad. The mana's still under control, and I can double spell. I could double spell plus waste them next turn. There's a Saga is a good wasteland target. Sad my Blood Moon's gone. That would have been so good. Another wasteland, keep them coming. Waste your Saga and your Spear, and put a Spirit token in front of your Jerk. Pretty good turn. Using all my mana, doing 3 different things. Ancient Tomb. Oh no. What's this last card in hand? Some 5-drop. Chalice on 1. Okay. I can start soaking up damage now, or I'm gonna leave the Spirit in play for a turn. Because any other source of 1 Spirit becomes a trade. Activate Staff. I think I'm gonna waste Ancient Tomb and then cycle Timeless Dragon. Wasteland, Ancient Tomb, keep them off 4. We've seen Karn, we've seen Seasoned Engineer. We can probably safely assume Urza. And I'll have a 4/4 in front of this Thought Monitor next turn. I'm going to cycle Timeless Dragon in the end step. And then Creaturefy it in my main phase. Get a scrub land here. Meltdown. Okay. Maybe I'll take a turn off here. And if I melt down for 1, that takes out Chalice and Ancient Den, sets them, and gives me Swords to Plowshares. Okay, I'm doing that. Take out the Ancient Den, their Thought Monitor. I can plow that now. This plow might be aggressive and unnecessary, but I think I like leaving them with as few resources as possible. We've seen affinity effects. How about you just don't have those instead? Mox Opal, okay. I like that they played out this naked, sad little Mox Opal. That means that despite having just seen Meltdown, and I've already used Prismatic Ending on a Mox Opal in this game, they're still respecting my discard. Okay, yeah, they're like, yeah, we're good. And with the Pyroblast backup, there's not much I'm worried about here. Cool. Rallying in the back half of the league, which has become a theme lately. Let's go play a positive record round. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. The final round, positive record on the line. Oh, this is so sad. One of these 5 cards at random is a land. I'm so in on this hand, but I don't think I'm going to keep the 1-lander. There are 22 other lands in this deck. Yeah, nah, not in the London Mulligan world. Yeah, I'll just mulligan to a responsible hand. How about that? Keep and send the Lingering Souls to the bottom, because this is Staff of the Storyteller show. Let's hope it's actually good in whatever matchup we're in. City of Traders. Lotus Petal. Okay. What flavor are we? Born of Amethyst. Yucko. Okay. Well, let's draw another land, please. Or a Stoneforge Mystic. Nope, the opposite. Okay. We could be in trouble here. I suspect red is their color. Yeah, there it is. Please play Blood Moon. Please play Blood Moon. And not a creature that I care about. The worst thing they could do is Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Oh, that's just as bad. Never mind. Alright, well, I guess technically I should take a land drop and see if I can Children's Edict this thing. Not that I can beat the initiative on raw stats anyway. Forward at. All right. Not a combo deck, but I would not call it a fair start either. They just saw some fetch lands and then nothing. Yikes. Meltdown seems reasonable. Currency Converter is going to be bad here. Once again, Duretti. Sorry, Duretti. Yeah, I think that Duretti and Lingering Souls seem like the weakest cards. And I haven't gotten to do the Fable discarding Souls thing yet, which probably feels like 1,000 for one. But Duretti seems pretty suspicious. Ball Therapy. I basically get one look. It has to be turn 1 on the play before they get Thorns and Chalices and stuff down. I'm going to cut one of those for sure. I think Kaya's Guile probably sucks. I mean, being able to make a creature at instant speed is big. That could pressure the initiative. Lingering Souls is a buttload of flying creatures. Mizawa's Jute. Yeah, and if I'm connecting with creatures against the initiative, they've probably already failed to function. I don't think Jute is going to break the game in my favor if I'm not already winning it. Maybe 3 is too many meltdowns because they have Prismatic Ending as well, and they have some stuff that's not artifacts. Okay, I'll try this. I am not optimistic about the matchup. Ugh, another one of these Thought Seizers that doesn't actually cast my spells. Oh, again, okay. A Thought Seizer that does cast my spells, count it. Keep. I'll send B-Skull to the bottom. And Timeless Dragon can get a red source if I need one. I'm going to play basics just in case. Thought Seize you. A turn 1 Minsc and Boo or turn 1 Caves of Chaos Adventure. Oh, good. I cannot beat either of these things. And I can't Thought Seize them off. Oh, wait. It's not turn 1. Okay. Saying there's a chance. But not really. And I definitely can't beat Minsc and Boo if it resolves. I'm going to have to take my chances versus Undermountain Adventurer. Gross. Yeah, this matchup is like the definition of force checking, even more so than something like Doomsday. And as a deck that literally does not and cannot contain Force of Will, I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. Okay, so here's the game plan now. I have to Swords to Plowshares this Undermountain Adventurer, find land number 3, play Staff of the Storyteller, take the initiative. 1 Spirit Guide was used here. And 1 Spirit Guide is what I know in their hand, and they're about to get a basic as well. I guess the only question here is it better to cycle Timeless Dragon now to get my creature in play a turn earlier? Does Undermountain Adventurer taps for mana? I think I need to deploy a threat, actually. I'm going to get Plains, and I am going to cycle for Plateau here. Yeah, I think I just got to take my chances against the 3/4 that also makes mana, because if I don't take the initiative, none of this matters. And I'll get a 1/1 flying into play. The 2 cards I know about in their hand do not answer this. But let's find out together. Going into Forge. They do not feel like they need more or better cards than they currently have. I'll take my 5. I will not block. Oh, weird. They just passed through their second main without playing a land or anything. Does not have reach. What do you have? Endurance? That would be shitty. Well, let's find out. I'm gonna poke this mana source first. And the fact they didn't even play the Plains makes me think maybe this was genuinely just a misclick. That was free to do, and they just didn't do it. Okay, cool. Misclick to the rescue. I would like to search my deck for a Plains, please. Okay, now I have the initiative, and I have another plow available, and I can draw for Staff. Mycosynth Gardens, why? What's going on here? Oh no, this too? Okay, I have Meltdown, that's fine. This is not how this works, though. Oh, you have Spirit Guide. This is how this works, yes. Never mind. It works. Okay, We've got a full Phil Gallagher, Thraben U, Insanity Brew here. Draw for staff. And I think I would like to go into the Lost Well. I still think I'm the control deck here. Is another land helpful? The bottom Bloodstained Mire, that's too much of the same. I'll put Plains on top, though. I have the Plains. Okay, I got some options here. If I melt down for 2, it kills my Staff of the Storyteller, but it takes out their Thorn and their Dreadnought, and I'm still holding Plow. That seems like the way to go. So X is 2 because of Thorn. I have to pay more. I could also let them keep Thorn in play, because it might be hurting them more than it's hurting me at this point. That's interesting. Yeah, I actually just talked myself into that. I'm going to kill your Dreadnought, keep my staff, get in for 1, and I have Swords to Plowshares up, and I still have the initiative. Plains, spent a mana for Lotus Petal, that's what I'm talking about, rewarded. I would like to enter the stash and get a treasure. Raucous, I'll play that for the turn. And I think I'm going to Cabal Therapy, naming Seasoned Dungeoneer. Just worried about things that can take the initiative without going through combat. Crop Rotation, terrifying. And that is certainly a card that you have. Okay, I'm going to play Lingering Souls. They can crop rotate, I just don't know what they could get that I would care about in this position. And with Lingering Souls, now I have enough souls that I can meaningfully challenge the initiative if they were to take it back. Here's the city. Is crop rotation... Is this a... I think I want to draw my card with my treasure, rather than keep treasure around. Is the crop rotation just more copies of Dreadnought, or do they have, like, Urza's Saga? Are they tutoring up Cavern of Souls? Have some concerns. I'll continue making land drops and continue attacking my opponent. Attack with all creatures. I'm not going to melt down just the Lotus Petal. That's insurance for the next Dreadnought. I'm going to get my Timeless Dragon in, hold up Plow plus draw card. I guess I could Flashback Therapy now and just force the action on the... Oh, that actually sounds great. Okay, yeah, Cabal Therapy. Paying 1, sacking a Spirit. All right, figure it out on this crop rotation. Whatever's going on, let's do it. There's the rotation. I think Urza Saga, okay, fair enough. And I'm going to say Dreadnought. Trying to think of cards they could have that they didn't play. Mycosynth Gardens. Okay. They're ready for the next round of Dreadnoughts. Would I rather... Oh, no. Thorn is still in play. I was about to say, would I rather draw a card this turn or put 2 more souls into play? And the answer is put 2 more souls into play, but I cannot do that. Oh, God. All right. Well, that's another thing that gets mopped up in my meltdown, which was already my plan. Okay, you've got a Dreadnought. I have 4 creatures that it cannot block. And draw some extra cards. And I get to go into the throne this turn. Give me a Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, is Mentor better? Yeah, Mentor's better. Forget about Stoneforge Mystic. I've just gone to my happy place that I didn't know existed. And I can still melt down for 1 without feeling bad about it, because I don't lose anything there. X equals 1, kills your Petal, kills your Dreadnought. Yeah, that works. All engines firing. I'm going to draw a card now as well. In case I draw something I want to do with sorcery speed, like Fable of the Mirror Breaker, for example. The bash for 10. They get to tutor with Urza's Saga and can make 1 construct on the way through, which is not going to stabilize. I have enough stats that I can just block a Boo token. Not that I think they could ever cast it. Their own Thorn causing trouble for them here. Okay, go. Good luck. Okay, cool. There was that little possible misclick stumble past the turn with no land drop on a very early turn that game. That may have contributed to my victory, or at least helped. That was scary, though. I'm now more interested in Blood Moon than I was last time. I was talking about maybe I should have Blood Moon. And now that we've seen Saga and Mycosynth Gardens, I'm more interested. Oh, this deck's rough. Definitely need the Edicts. I guess the Cabal Therapies are kind of bad on the draw. I have to guess which part of their deck they have, and also it has to be before they stick some creature I can't beat. Like everything that has flying should be in the deck, except Fairy Macabre. Almost got me. Comments. I got there before you. All of my flying creatures, the Lingering Souls, the Stabs, etc., Kaya's Guile are in the deck. And gotta lose one more thing here. Maybe Blood Moon is a later problem. I'll leave one in the deck to shut the door once I get stable, but it doesn't help me get stable. Well, my opponent kept 7, which is terrifying. I have lands and interactive spells and threats in my hand, which are the things that I need. Let's hope they line up correctly. City, Battle. Oh no. Oh no. 4 wasn't enough. We're going 5 mana. Mindbreak Trap. It's the worst possible one. So I can draw Caracas right now and maybe have some chance at stability. Bad times, though. Caracas off the top. No such luck. Alright, I mean, Sheoldred's Edict is sack a Planeswalker, so I might have found my 1-outer here. Or my other 1-outer. There was a second outer I wasn't aware of. Okay, I'm gonna Plow Boo. Or, yeah, Plow Boo. And then they were planning on drawing cards, which is why they didn't buff it. Just don't follow up with a lock piece, and I'll be able to clear Minsk. My god. You're saying there's a chance. Fetching. Or Scrubland. Each opponent sacrifices a Planeswalker. Spicy one of, let's go. Holy crap. I was not expecting to be here. And based on the fact they didn't do anything last turn, they currently don't have anything. Let's hope this holds off for like 1 or 2 more turns. Land off the top? Okay, no land. I'm not going to be able to Thoughtseize here. I think I just need to get Stoneforge going. Pauldra is just the hardiest thing I can do in this whole matchup. And especially if they're floundering. I'm just going to go for it. Okay, go. Don't kill me. But now I can contest the initiative, at least. Well, they're continuing to not do anything. Is this a turn where I should invest in a Thoughtseize, or should I just be pushing the limits here? What am I worried about happening if I Thoughtseize them? Like, I would cycle for Scrubland with Timeless Dragon, then cast Thoughtseize, is what I would do. I think I just have to deal damage to them. I'm worried about Solitude. That's the card I would care about. Alright, whatever. Pauldra, get in there. This matchup is not really about nuance, so I'm not going to try to be nuanced about it. I'll simply pile on damages while my opponent is not functioning and hope that they continue to not function. I'm wondering what's in their hand, though. It's got to just be like 5 lands, right? And they just don't want to lose their City of Traders? Because all their 4-drops could have been cast. Okay, now I'm going to do the thing. The Thoughtseize thing. Cycle for Scrubbo. Scrubseize. What is going on over there? Answer my questions now. Yeah, okay. My read of 5 lands was not far from accurate. It was 4 lands and a monkey. I probably would have cast that monkey. I don't know. That's just a lot of mana. Okay, I've attacked. And we are flying by the seat of our pants here. I can contest the initiative. I can remove a Phyrexian Dreadnought. Horn of Amethyst, I don't really care about. Attack with my creatures, and I'm going to play Monastery Mentor. Or, no, I'm going to play Plague Engineer on Hamster. That's the play. That cuts their 1 out, which is Minsk and Boo, which is the thing I was worried about. Okay, now dead on board, and the thing that I was most worried about is not possible anymore. Okay, here comes a Gardens. Okay, Dreadnought. I am not worried about this card. I don't even think I'm going to plow this thing. It can't beat Kaldra. Engineer has Death Touch. They're not going to be able to play Minsc and Boot through their own Thorn of Amethyst. They just lost 2 lands this turn. You can put them to 1 without having to do anything. Yeah, I don't want to put them back up to 19. They're basically dead here. Shame about the Thorn, or else Wandering Emperor could have won this game this turn. Blessing on something. Okay. They've opted for saving the most damage rather than clearing the Plague Engineer. Probably reasonable. And Timeless Dragon just puts the most stats on the board. Yeah, I'm not in the drawing more cards business now. I'm in the deal 4 damage to my opponent before they figure this out business, which Dragon is very good at doing. We got the GGs, though. Positive record. That last game was crazy. The one of Shoulder Edict showing up exactly when it needed to. Swords to Plowshares buying the time. Opponent just didn't have another creature. Oh my god. In summation of this league, the opponents who let me play fair eventually got buried. The Doomsday opponent just walked through me. It's like I wasn't even there. Just full goldfish mode. And the Bug Scam deck was really interesting because they have an unfair start, which puts me on the back foot long enough to have a better fair game. Like Uro is quite a monster against a fair opponent who can't answer him. And I have Caracas, 4 Plows, 3 Prismatic Endings in the deck. Kaya's Guile hits graveyards. I'm not without answers to Uro. It was just the squeeze that specifically Bug Scam creates of messing with your answers, pressuring you, and then having a powerful follow-up. But maybe they just draw 1 Wasteland instead of 2 in game 1, and we're 4-1. That alternate timeline is not far off. We were never beating Doomsday, though. Never, ever. You would need to rebuild your sideboard with some Hushbringers, Torpor Orbs, that sort of thing, if you want any chance in that matchup. Or Opposition Agent, I guess, is a card we could play, but that's pretty slow. Whatever. We did get to showcase the deck. Staff of the Storyteller drew a lot of cards. My feedback on the deck, I think Currency Converter is really slow for what we're doing here. We have 1 Timeless Dragon that can kind of shortcut it. Oh, I guess we have the Fables too. Maybe we just didn't see what it wanted to do. Like, if you ever discard 2 cards into Currency Converter with Fable and Mirror Breaker, I imagine that feels pretty good, especially if one of them's Lingering Souls. It's just like a 3 for 0 hanging out among cards you're playing anyway. Okay, I'm not going to make harsh judgments on Currency Converter based on playing 5 matches because I can see the overlap. But Duretti did not seem good. It's filling kind of a Grist role that Grist fills in a lot of mid-range decks these days, where it can plus to make a body and minus to sack a body and kill a body. Duretti doesn't kill Planeswalkers the way Grist does. Also, we don't have a tutor package the way most Grist decks do. They can usually Zenith for it. Duretti felt like the weirdest one. I imagine there's got to be a Planeswalker in Mardu colors that makes tokens that's better than this one. And not Wandering Emperor. Obviously, that's right there, but I would have to do a Scryfall search, but I was not impressed by Duretti. Maybe another Timeless Dragon even in that spot. Getting your mana under you and having the body of Timeless Dragon that also triggers the staff. That's a powerful interaction. Timeless Dragon's a card we're pretty happy to discard to Fable. Maybe there's more going on there. Duretti was my weakest link. The rest of the decisions made sense. Your mileage may vary. Rebuilding your whole sideboard to beat Doomsday, and then maybe you don't see it for 25 matches. Who knows? That's just metagaming. I'm not going to feel bad about that. Monastery Mentor, I wish did a little more. We have some spells, but not the way a Ponder Brainstorm deck has spells. Like, a really good turn with this deck, you trigger Mentor twice, which is not that spicy. We all know I love Monastery Mentor, but I do wonder if this should just be another card, one that's more reliable. Even like the 4th Prismatic Ending maybe is better than Mentor. In summation, the 2 dubious 1 of 3 drops are the 2 that I have my eye on. I think Duretti is worse than Mentor, but I also think we can do better than Mentor. And those are my thoughts about this deck. Jack, thank you for sharing it with me. I'm glad I could continue the tradition of going 3-2 with it. I wish we could do a little more, but we're still in that solid 3-2 pocket. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon and the sponsors and everything that makes this channel possible, and I'll see you next time.